Now we have our next crisis, that is war. It's beyond our imagination, the pain, the suffering, the fear, the insecurity. There's only one who faces it knows what it's all about.
Fear is actually spreading faster than the facts of this crisis.
It's easy to say, why are they doing that? Important is, why are you doing this in these trivial matters of your life? Vibrationally, the air is again now radiating with fear.
How should each person around the world, in areas where this crisis is happening and in India too, deal with such a situation?
Issue will get resolved in some time. Impact will not get resolved. So everybody's asking for peace today. So where's the peace?
At a time like this, when the world feels uncertain, there is war around every one of us, when the facts about the crisis actually, travel so rapidly, creating fear of an unprecedented kind, we just thought that we'd have this little ThinkRight podcast to talk about a few things that we can do to enhance our inner strength as we deal with such great uncertainty around us. And to join us in this conversation on ThinkRight, we have our ever-radiant sister VK Shivani. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful, subject that is so important, at a time when, there is a big need for it. In today's times, the question is, how do we, build inner resilience, inner strength, overcome fear that is just there, in the air around everyone. And, today fear is actually spreading faster than the facts of this crisis, because we are in a interconnected world with media, right? And this fear is all around. How does an individual, how should each person, around the world, in areas where this crisis is happening and in India too, deal with such a situation?
So just to remember that there are two worlds. One is the outer world and one is the inner world. For the last couple of decades, we've been living this life where we said the inner world is dependent on the outer world. And so, now we're talking on a global level, but if we just talk of our personal life, there have been issues which are not in my control. There have been situations which are not my way. But even in those small trivial matters, someone not behaving my way or something not going my way or my body not feeling the right way today, we have allowed the mind to get disturbed. And we have created a vocabulary which says, I'm upset because something is not right. I'm angry because someone did do something the right way. I'm irritated because they're behaving like this. Even if you ask someone, you're looking very happy today, you say, because something has happened in my life. This vocabulary reaffirms repeatedly. It's an affirmation which says, what I'm feeling here is because of something here. And so that is making us emotionally dependent on the outer world. Now, once I make my mind emotionally dependent on the outer world, I need the outer world to be perfect for me to feel perfect. But we were living this way, and 2020 came COVID, a situation which hit the world at the same time. And suddenly every human mind was creating fear, anxiety. We didn't know what it was all about. We didn't know what's going to be the impact of it. So there was so much uncertainty, then lockdown. First time, it happened at the same time in all 5 continents, and it went on for almost 2 years. So those 2 years, the human emotions changed. And then, of course, so many experienced the disease, and so many left the body, and so many families went through that grief. So if we pause and we look at the detached observer, what happened to the vibrational air in those 2 years? It was radiating with fear, radiating with uncertainty and anxiety. 2022 COVID was more or less settled, but fear and anxiety did not settle in the world after that. Anxiety attacks, panic attacks suddenly went on the rise, depression went on the rise. As a result of our emotional health in those 2 years, physical health issues went on the rise. 2025, the number of young heart attacks, the number of cancers, the number of suicide, everything is gone like that post-COVID. So to remember, if I don't take personal responsibility of my mind, then I'm always vulnerable to getting influenced by the air. And when a situation came like that and the air suddenly dipped in terms of its vibration, we got influenced, and either mind or body or relationships got influenced. We've not yet come out of it, and now we have our next crisis, that is war. Now, people say, oh, but there were wars earlier also. Yes, but there was no social media. There was no technology in everyone's hand, including a child. So now what is happening? Minute to minute, people are getting updates. So we have to just visualize, yes, what's happening in that part of the world. We know we can't, it's beyond our imagination, the pain, the suffering, the fear, the insecurity. It's beyond our imagination because only one who faces it knows what it's all about. We are just theoretically thinking about it. But it's in these pockets. Okay, so let's visualize these 5 continents, and in these particular pockets in these countries, there's pain, there's grief, there is loss. The rest of the world, more or less, things are okay. But every minute that there is an update on billions of phones, that means there is update on billions of minds, and which means billions of minds are creating fear, worry, and anxiety. Now, this billions of minds creating fear, worry, and anxiety, these are people who are not directly affected by the war. Of course, a lot of us are indirectly now affected in terms of market, job loss, all that, indirectly, but directly not affected. But minds are directly affected. And when billions of minds get affected multiple times during the day, when they're updating themselves with information, when they're talking also, conversation is also about that. The air, vibrationally, the air is again now radiating with fear, aggression. People are very angry about what is happening. Hatred. There is hatred. So all this is only going to cause the air to now dip even further. And it's already started happening. We will see this impact for a very long time. Its issue will get resolved in some time. Impact will not get resolved. COVID got resolved in 2022. Impact was not resolved till 2025 also. And after COVID also, there were certain situations that kept happening in the world. So we need to wake up. So the first thing we need to do right now is stop consuming information. Stop consuming information. So if I create that pain and hatred, I'm adding to the pain and hatred in the energy in the air. This will influence more minds, and most important, all this vibration is also reaching those who are actually going through that crisis. So it's like we have choices. Either we can radiate peaceful, powerful prayers and meditation energy to where there is a crisis, or we can just live like a victim and just keep consuming the information, creating that emotion, and that energy is going to radiate there. If this continues, then of course everyone here is going to feel the pain, but those who are actually going through the pain are not going to receive healing energy from anyone around them. Even the souls who leave the body when this is happening, even they need a lot of peace and power for their journey forward. Where is the peace and power? It's not there anywhere. So we need to wake up to our personal responsibility. We have last week just created stress thinking we won't get the cylinder. The amount of stress that got created because of that, when it is already still available, we have created so everybody, and it doesn't remain, everybody's on social media again.
Also.
Yeah, so everybody's on social media writing about it, talking about it, this happened, that. The level goes to another energy. So take a pause, reflect what is your personal responsibility. Do you want to add pain to existing pain, or do you want to heal the pain? And do you want to influence the minds of the people who are the decision makers right now?
So can each person who's listening to this podcast become a peace ambassador?
Yes.
Right? And in order to be one of those, and of course the collective power will be very large. Yes. What should a person be doing today? One is, of course, what should a typical day look like, or what can a person do in a day that will enhance that?
First, not to consume the world news. Just disconnect completely. You're consuming the news is not changing anything over there, but it's changing a lot in the air. So just make it as, just do it for 1 month and see. Even when the Ahmedabad air crash had happened, 250 people. The pain that those 250 souls would have experienced when that happened, the pain which 250 families would have experienced when they lost family members, it's beyond our imagination. But the pain that people experienced just repeatedly seeing the visual and consuming, because you read everyone's story, oh, there was a family, there were 2 children, of course. But seeing that visual and listening to it again and again, so many people had to go through therapy after that.
And the fear of future travel.
Fear of people have reached up to taking the flight, not even airport, there, just to getting in where they have to check the boarding pass, panicked and come back. So we have to understand the impact of what happens in one place, the impact of that on human minds in any part of the world, only because we are watching and reading and consuming that again and again. So pause button. Just for the next 1 month, don't consume any information. Anyway, someone will tell you what's happening in the world, but you don't need to just go and check it again and again and again. And second, integrate into your life at least few minutes every day, maybe just 2 minutes, 5 minutes every morning. Sit and meditate or pray, chanting, whatever you do it to radiate peace and love and compassion in the world. Do it focused for those countries who are going through that pain. We don't believe that vibrations work. So we will, for me praying here, how is it going to make a difference? It's like when there is a crisis, we send resources, right? People, like suppose there's a natural calamity, people will send wealth, people will send food, people will send blankets. Send peace, send empathy, send compassion. Power of collective energy can influence the minds of decision makers. But if minds will only repeat what other people are doing, then more of that will happen. If all the minds of the planet change what they are thinking, what is happening will start changing.
So it is like a counter, right? On one side, you're sending more weapons, more artillery to fight wars, and then you send something, which is creating greater peace, reminding us that, we are one human family, bringing awareness to the fact that, the same life exists in everyone. I think transmitting more of that is like what you're saying, so critical, and to do it collectively.
And to understand that everybody wants a peaceful world. If you ask anybody, they say we want a peaceful world. Because they believe when the world is peaceful, then I'll be able to be peaceful. But the equation doesn't go that way.
Right.
And neither can one person get up and create a peaceful world. But what is my karma responsibility is to create a peaceful me. So even if I'm not consuming in news, even if I'm not thinking about the war, even if I'm meditating for peace, but during the day, I'm creating aggression. I'm creating hatred about someone around me, not about what's happening in the world. I'm still radiating that same energy into the air. So if everyone takes up the moral responsibility of creating a peaceful me, that's the only way to create a peaceful world. Because there are so many wars going on in our own life, no? There is terror going on inside here. Now, if right now, stop consuming any content of terror, because there's enough terror in the air. So we are contributing to that terror. We are contributing to the fear and aggression just by how we are reacting to our normal situations of the day. So just yesterday, we were doing a program. So we said, okay, to do things, what we can do. One is, of course, stop consuming news, start meditating daily. I said, okay, 1 month, no anger. If 1 month you respond to every situation of your life with a little more gentleness, a little more empathy, you're radiating empathy and peace and power in the air. So 1 month only no anger, 1 month no criticism, no discussing weaknesses. There's already enough weaknesses in the air. If everyone does this much, they're contributing to shifting the air just because they're changing themselves. There's only one way to change the world, to change the self. We are going the other way around in terms of the equation that the world will change and so I will be fine. Right now, everyone else in the other part of the world where they are affected in different ways, whether it's market, whether it's, then they are more worried. But think about that, what is happening. You're creating your fear and anxiety about these other things. These will get resolved. Bigger, but everyone's creating their stress, fear, and anxiety because of the way they are. That's what I said. One cylinder not available, we started creating fear and anxiety. What are they going through? So just learn to respond to your situations of life with more ease and calm. You are contributing to heal the world.
A peaceful me is a foundational building block for a peaceful world.
Yeah.
At a time for crisis like this, where there's anxiety and uncertainty, is actually giving everyone an opportunity to step up and make themselves more peaceful by controlling anger, by doing that. Like, many times you see a spiritual awakening or the need to bring a shift comes when there's suffering in the family, or there is something that has pushed you
Right.
to a point when it's beyond your individual capacity and you surrender to a larger power. I think this world crisis is actually giving us an opportunity, and especially countries like India and people who are based here, because it's ancient, right? It's there in our culture. It's there it's ingrained in people to really make this as an opportunity to bring peace by bringing that shift in every individual.
Collective prayers, collective meditation is in Delhi. There is a study going on. There is an RML hospital. They have brain injured or those kind of patients there in the hospital. They've divided them into two groups. One group is going through the medical treatment. The other group is going through medical treatment plus there is a university, a scholar university, it's like distance away, where they recite Sanskrit shlokas. They are doing healing through those shlokas for this group of people. They are not doing for this group. Okay, so that's the study. They are finding significant change over there because of distant energy being created just for them in the hospital. We have enough evidence in Bharat about it.
Yeah.
So, but we need to use it. So it's easy to sit across the TV screen and say, how could this one do this? How could that? What are you doing? What is your contribution towards this? You cannot just sit, complain and criticize. You're not even thinking and talking about what somebody else doing. What am I doing for it? So if we just take these small shifts as, like, when someone needs something, we say, okay, I will save this much money. I will give this money there. I will donate this money. I will not spend on this thing. Similarly, create at least 2 behavioral changes in yourself for this 1 month. You are contributing to healing the world. Make that shift. It's easy to say, why are they doing that? Important is, why are you doing this in these trivial matters of your life? You can't change your one reaction to a situation. It's easy to sit back and say, they shouldn't, they should. Personal contribution, at least 2 behavioral changes for 1 month.
So that's that aha moment. You have to find that aha moment. Okay, I will do this. Oh, wow, I can make this shift, right? It's actually very simple if you are aware of it and you want to make it. And if we do it collectively, I think it can really change the energy both in India, and around the world.
It's a spiritual law. It's called Sanskar se Sansar, which means our sanskars means our energy creates the Sansar, the world. So if I change let's forget the world, let's go to our world, the house. 4 or 6 people are living in a home. What's the energy of the house? Let's say it's a building. Every flat looks identical. Let's say every flat is furnished also identical. Everything is identical looking in that flat. You enter every house, it has a different energy. It has a different energy. So who is creating the energy of the house? The minds of the people living in that house. So if 4, 6 people are living in that house, the way they think, the way they speak, the conversations that they have in that house, the way they behave, creates the energy in that house. Now, if a crisis comes in the life of one person in that family of 4, who's already not vibrating at a very higher energy, that one person dips. The other 3, creating worry about what's happening to that one person, creating fear, creating anxiety. The other 3 also dip. Now, this one already dipped. Other 3 also dipped. What will happen to the energy of the house? The energy of the house will dip.
Oh, no.
It was already not very good. Now the energy of the house will dip. When this energy of the house will dip, what will happen to this one person? This person will only dip. Looking at this one person, the other. So we will just go like this. But even if the energy of the house is average, nothing very great, this one person dips. These three people, if they meditate daily now, if they pray daily now, if they take care of their mind, they energize themselves, these three people will rise in their energy. They will change the energy of that house, and that energy of the house will change the energy of this person. We have the power to do that. Whether it's four in a flat or whether it is billions of us on the planet, equation remains exactly the same कि संस्कार से संसार बनता है. Use that power.
Yeah.
Use that power. So if one dips, we need to be here. Similarly, if something is going on in the world, we need to be here. We have the power to influence what's happening in the world.
And in a time of crisis, it becomes even more important. And
Very
I think
important.
it becomes also a call to action. I think
What we are not understanding, this is going to have a very deep impact on human minds. Very deep impact. Impact on minds who had nothing to do with the war. Impact on minds who had nothing to do with being even in the country where it's going on. It's going to impact, like imagine, how many mothers must be carrying a child right now? Not necessarily only in those countries, but in all the countries of the world. And suddenly the energy around them has changed. Everybody is anxious, fearful. That soul in the womb, what are they absorbing? This will impact the emotional and mental health of that child 20 years from today. And we are saying it's natural to feel like this. You have to wait and watch what's going to be the outcome of this so-called natural reactions that we create. So moral responsibility, if there is a crisis, I have to take charge of my mind, and then what I have to do can change. But my mind first, and rise like this. Even if I've not done it before, I do need to do it right now.
So one is take charge of yourself, get that right, use that right state to get more to do the same.
Absolutely.
So that whether it is in your neighborhood, in your
simple
family,
every school can start.
Every school can
start a morning 2 minutes prayer for world peace. Every college can start. Every organization can take a 2-minute silence before they begin or at the end of the day, saying that we are praying or we are meditating for peace in the world. We are meditating for everyone to come back in harmony. We will have billions of people ready to do it together. Because individually someone might do, might not do, but collectively when everyone does it, it's magic. So every organization can do it. Every club can do it. Every family can do it together. Every school, college can do it.
Every corporate, every government,
everybody can do
any group of people, in any shape and form.
And if nobody's doing it around you, individually, so you can do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also stop conversations about it. We don't understand the impact of our words. Everything that I'm thinking and speaking is also impacting the health of my body. So if you see post-COVID, why physical health issues were on the rise? Because everything that we were thinking, speaking, and it doesn't mean that that particular person who's going through an health issue was thinking and speaking like that. It's just that everybody was going through it. The air got affected. The water gets affected. The water absorbs what is the vibration in the air. So इसलिए हिंदी में कहते हैं कौन से शहर का पानी पीते हो, which means the city you are in absorbs the sanskars of the people in that city, and then anyone who drinks that water for over a period of time changes as a person and starts becoming like that city. So when there was COVID, there was so much pain, water has absorbed that. The grains, the fruits, the vegetables, they have absorbed that. And of course, the air has absorbed that. So post-COVID, our health issues went on a rise. Our mental health issues went on a rise because our water is at a lower energy, our food is at a lower energy, our air is at a lower energy. Now we haven't yet come out of it. Now one more. So there's so much. When we do this collective prayer or meditation, we're changing the air. Okay, even if you feel no, my energy is not reaching another country. Okay, never mind. Is it reaching your place, everywhere around you? Change the air where you're living. Change the air where you're working. The water of your city will start changing. At least protect yourself. Okay, if you feel you don't have the power to heal somebody else, at least protect yourself from the pain which is there in another part of the world. But if I will only consume that, think that, speak that, and in my own life also live in that reactive mode, the air in every country is going to dip. The water and fruits, vegetables, energy, everything will dip. We will see more of physical and mental health issues after that. So protect yourself, energize yourself, and your higher energy automatically is radiating as healing energy.
And I think, protecting yourself is like a shield, right? Which not only enables you to stay protected today, but also supports that over a much longer term.
Absolutely.
And it's a shift in mindset. It's a new process that the world should make a shift to, especially if we really want to call each person an ambassador of peace. I think this is the first step that one can take.
Peace cannot get created with everybody in fear and anxiety. People feel war gets over, that's peace. That's not peace, because we were not peaceful before the war. Of course, this is a crisis, but we were not a peaceful world even before the war. That's what we say. Peace does not mean no war. Just don't think, okay, there's no war, so we are peaceful. Everybody's asking for peace today. So where's the peace? If we start creating a peaceful me, then there will be no war. Not that if there is no war, then it's a peaceful world. So we have to take that responsibility. It's starting from here. Once that is done, everybody will awaken and we will definitely create a peaceful world.
And therefore we say, ThinkRight.me.
Absolutely.
Right? It has to start with the me, and each person, if they can make the shift to make the right thoughts, to bring the right action, to create collective peace around, I'm sure we'll be able to create
and in this time, I feel everyone needs to take care of themselves even more. It's like when COVID, everybody started searching immunity and started working on themselves. Right now, everyone needs to take care of themselves, because the air is going to dip. Because yes, war, yes, financial issues because of that, stress and it will impact minds and bodies. So even if you've not been leading a very perfectly healthy lifestyle, please do it now, because impact will be more. So take care of the mind, take care of the body, take it little easy, rest well, sleep well, take care, because the air is going to change.
Any advice for parents with young children? Anything in particular they should do?
Parents have to raise the energy of their house. Your children are growing in that house. Raise the energy of your house by the way you live, by what content you consume. You know what people need to remember? The content they consume sitting inside the house, even the words of that content are creating the air. Even if you say, oh, I am watching, my child is not watching. Child does not need to watch. What you are watching is here, and what is here is here, and your child is absorbing that. That child will automatically get drifted towards that content, because the child is already radiating at that energy. So the content we consume, what is our energy field? So nowadays we've been sharing with everyone, just take responsibility of raising the energy of your home. That's all. Don't need to do anything else. The way you behave, the way you speak, sometimes arguments going on for hours, not putting an end to conflict, not putting that full stop. Okay, once they've stopped the argument, now they stop talking to each other. There's absolute silence, and that silence is very heavy energy. Children are absorbing all that. So that's the thing. Our wars are going on every day around us. What we are doing. Finish the terror in your life. Terror in the world will finish. So every parent needs to finish that terror in their homes, the way a couple is talking to each other, the way they are behaving. It's the energy that the child is absorbing. Parents say, oh, but it was closed doors. But energy doesn't need the door to be opened or to be closed. They feel only what children see and hear will impact children. What children breathe, what children absorb in that house is impacting them. So parents can take up this responsibility. They have to raise the energy of their home. We can change the energy of our workplace, and then we can change the energy of the world.
So if not now, then when?
This is a crisis now, because it's just come too soon. We've not yet settled out before it's just come too soon.
And this crisis is the call to action.
And we don't know what's going to be the impact in terms of the world thing, what's going to be the impact in the next few months or few years. So strengthen yourself.
And if this sustains, if the world, what you rightly said, wars or this uncertainty continues to sustain, and a person's putting that effort and hoping to see certain outcomes, but sometimes you don't see those outcomes, right?
You will at least see the outcome in your life.
Correct. You have to view it, the change in yourself.
Don't think, okay, you don't want to do it for the world, do it for yourself. Because it's like this: if I'm here where I am and the collective energy of the world dips, I will automatically get pulled down. I will not even be aware. So at Brahma Kumaris, we learn I have to live my life like this, which means vibrationally, I should just be moving upwards every day. It can be at the slowest pace, no problem, but the graph needs to be going like this. The day I become like this, which means I'm stagnant, what I was last month, I'm the same here. I will not remain like this. The collective energy of the planet will just make me dip. So every home needs to just be going upwards like this.
Thank you, Sister Shivani, for helping us navigate the world the way it is today and ourselves in our lives with this very calm and with such clarity, right? I think there is just very simple things that you can do, to bring peace, to really, as we discussed, your peaceful me. A peaceful me will create a peaceful world, and that's what we should all be seeking. Thank you. Om Shanti.
You too can start or enhance your mindfulness journey using the ThinkRight app on iOS and Android store. It's got a huge number of daily affirmations, daily journeys, daily meditations that will enable us to hold your hand as you move in this transformative journey of life.